One of the things that's very important to you at the moment is the title architect and the fact that it doesn't come with a protection of function. That's something you've been very vocal on, and you've taken a very strong stance on this now. And I can appreciate that there's some criticism towards you in terms of, well, you're in a privileged position, so you can decide whether you're called an architect or not, because everybody knows you're an architect and you are the president of the Institute of Architects. So therefore you're in a position that others are not. But I liken this to a sportsman or woman who is often criticized for either not taking enough of a stance or taking too much of a stance using their position. But I mean, you've taken on the presidency role to make a difference.
So I did this partly so that a sole practitioner in Colchester doesn't have to, and it doesn't. If I'd have done it a year ago when I wasn't the RIBA president, nobody would have taken any notice. I wanted to do something in the first 100 days that actually made a difference and
gets people talking about some critical issues.
I set up a president's advisory group with some fantastic people on that to get them involved in the RIBA that normally wouldn't be involved, the best in the profession, the best in the construction industry. It was partly because I handed out 300 certificates to new graduates, the people that had done the RIBA Part 3 course. And 300 photographs later, 300 handshakes later, met their parents, and we were talking about, now that my son or daughter's got their Part 3, what difference would it make? I just thought, this is something I've got to do for them, not for me. It's just bonkers that you can call yourself an architect, that you haven't got any regulation of function. It's actually probably the wrong way round. It's a nice dinner party conversation to say I'm an architect, but it doesn't actually mean anything if anybody can do what you does. And I'm not at all protectionist. I mean, I don't want to make everybody have to use an architect for everything, because somebody like Thomas Heatherwick isn't an architect, and he's done fantastic stuff. I think anybody that wants to commission somebody to design something that's going to be brilliant should be able to do that. But there's certain, when it comes to safety and ethics and competence, there's certain things that you need to be able to do as an architect, and that should be regulated, not just the title.